Do you mind if I come back if I have any more questions?
I'm not going anywhere.
At least not now. Alright, so we learned more. Maybe I should go tell this to Nabi, since I am a nice guy, and I am communicating with the police actively. And I'm not a killer.
Do you know anything about some kind of beast stalking the streets? Give me a break, Luton. I don't know everything. Have you heard of a troll called Horst, Nobby? Oh yeah, he's a treasure hunter, he is. How come you've heard of him? Well, Vimes always asks us to keep an eye on him when he's in town. Is he a lawbreaker then? Well, he's careful never to get caught doing anything against the law. Bit like you then. Yeah, a bit like... No.
No.
Now you hang on a minute.
Wait a second.
I am completely law-abiding.
And you did get us out of jail, I guess, and you were on our side most of the time.
Yes. You're as innocent as the next man in Ankh-Morpork. Exactly. Well, if I can pick the next man anyway.
Alright. You have nothing new. I would like to go next to Cafe Ankh. Let's see what Ilsa and two coggers are up to. Is that another crowbar?
A good-looking crowbar. It looked like it had a good heft, too.
Well, since I am in a crowbarless state...
I figured the golem wouldn't notice that the crowbar had gone missing. Not that I'm saying it didn't need it, just that I'd figured I'd get away with stealing it.
I got another crowbar. Hey guys. And, god damn it, box of receipts. You see, you really need to look around these screens because it's so easy to miss things.
Just like Samael had told me, there was a box of receipts in the cellar. I rooted carefully through the receipts, and the only recent purchaser was the patrician. It seems he'd bought a number of barrels of fine wine to take to the palace. I guess the golem I'd seen at the cafe was owned by Lord Veterinary. I'm back. How's two conkers?
A little better, I think.
Hey, so in the meantime, I was kind of convicted for a murder and then set free. I know you care about all of this.
Do you know anything about some kind of beast stalking the streets?
I don't think we can help you with that.
The only thing you can help me is with that guild thing, and I haven't found a solution to your problem yet. But I think I'll go visit the patrician. And now I have a weapon again. I don't know if we can actually visit the patrician, but we can reference that we have something of his? A receipt, maybe? Or maybe I should have talked to Samael. Oh, yeah.
Do you know anything about some kind of beast stalking the streets?
I can't help you with that, son.
Did I make any note of those receipts? Where would he put those? Nope, they're not here.
The palace buys a lot.
Why do you want to...
Just a...
Your only interest in alcohol is whiskey.
Anything new here? No, it doesn't seem like it. Maybe let's talk to Samael about it.
Samael, I'd already asked. With the... Do you saw Mr... Do you know what saw Mr...
He's no help. But I did get a map marker for that receipt thing. Where is it? Patrician's palace. I can't get into his palace.
What was I going to do? Scale the walls with my bare hands?
With my bare hands. Well, actually... I do have a crowbar and a grappling iron. Can I go back to Leonardo's room?
It always looked
Yes,
much
I can.
easier in the clickies.
Wow, that's quite the throwing arm, Luton. And I'm back.
Hello again, Leonard.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
What are you doing?
I'm deeply immersed.
Can I help?
He doesn't need any help.
There was nothing useful to me. Well, nothing useful that wasn't glued down, or that I thought Leonard wouldn't notice.
So what is the point of being able to come back here, I wonder? I'm just checking to see if I have to do that grappling iron thing every time, but no, now I have a direct sequence to Leonard's cell.
The Saturnalia, the meeting with Therma, had been arranged high up above the streets of the city.
Well, not anymore.
Jasper Horst's private quarters. The Octarine Parrot. The Wharf.
The wharf. Do I still have business at the Octarine Parrot? I mean, Sapphire's gone. Long gone. Hello, Mankin.
Come to persecute me some more, Luton?
A little bit more.
A man's gotta have a hobby. Do you know anything about... Leave me alone. This is Do you know anything about the wine barrels? Leave me alone.
I can't even talk about Sapphire anymore.
Do you know anything about Reagan's murder? No. Don't even know who he is. What have you heard about Malachite's murder? Nothing. Come on. You know there's no point lying to me. I heard you done it, alright?
Yeah, but I haven't.
Happy now? Do you know anything about some kind of beast stalking the streets? Leave me alone, Luton. This is species harassment.
I'm not targeting you with my questions.
Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst? I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
Nothing new in our office? I'm kind of drawing a big old blank. Alright, so it seems my issue with this is that I keep forgetting that there is a mechanic that I forget to use. Apparently, I can take... No, Luton, stay there. I can take this... No, not my inventory, my notebook, which I keep forgetting that I can pick up topics, and I can use them on places, which is weird. I can use it on the wall.
Right under the patrician's nose. It was just crazy enough to work.
And that's gonna be the hiding place.
Right under the... It was just...
Crazy enough to work.
The palace walls were useful for keeping in... Looking closely, I could...
Yes, so that's where we're gonna hide him. Under the patrician's nose. I just completely forget about the fact that I can pick up subjects from my notebook and use them on things. That means I can go to Cafe Ankh and tell Ilsa that I found a place for them to hide.
I've done it. I've found somewhere to hide him.
Where?
Where no one would even think about looking. Somewhere that only the patrician and I know exists, I reckon.
The patrician and you? What if the patrician finds two conkers there?
Two conkers should be able to hide without too much difficulty. He doesn't like to see useful people get killed. Besides, I am sure this is the only place in Ankh-Morpork that he'll be safe from Remora. Is it okay to move him?
He should be okay.
To be feeling much better in thankings. Sure he's not still delirious?
Sometimes I wonder.
Let's go. Hello again, Leonard.
Hello. I'm afraid I had to go back to the drawing tablet with the spinning blades radiating from central hub. It was too heavy. The device flew all right, but only in a downward trajectory.
That is looking like some kind of fluttering machinery.
Yes. I call it a flapping wing flying device. But it isn't working yet.
May I take a look?
Be my guest.
Are you to be considering the increasings of the wingtitude?
The span of the wings? I considered it, but the weight is still the problem.
What if you be using bombastic wood for the frame? It hadn't occurred to me that two conkers would have any practical skills. But I guess you didn't carry out complex excavations without learning a thing or two about engineering. I left him to get to know Leonard and hooked up with Ilsa.
Ooh.
She had a deal to keep.
Oh yeah. Guild time.
With two conkers safely hidden away, Ilsa kept her word. She took me straight to the guild and signed me in as her personal guest.
Is that Lara Croft? Laredo. Fair enough. I need to remember that I can pick up ideas and use them on things. Ugh, damn.
The fireplace was home to a roaring fire, providing light and warmth.
Damn, this place is nice.
There was something distracting about it, but I couldn't work out what.
Jump in the fire.
You mustn't touch that.
She's borderline copyright infringing.
Laredo Kronk,
Laredo
the
Kronk.
upwardly nubile tomb evacuator, and the focus of the fantasies of 1,000 post-pubescent adolescents.
Of course.
I had to admit there was something about her.
Laredo Kronk.
Excuse me, can you help me?
That depends on what you want.
Oh, and she has a British accent, of course. They should have given her an Australian one.
I'm new here. I'm just trying to get a feel for the place.
Are you a member?
Not yet.
What's your name?
Luton.
Laredo Kronk. Pleased to meet you, I'm sure.
The pleasure is all mine.
Now, Luton, keep it together.
Of course it is. So you're a guest, are you?
Is that a bad thing?
Only in so much as 8 out of 10 guests who confessed a preference stole something before disappearing.
I'm not going to steal anything, trust me.
No, I think you're wrong.
I'm gonna steal something, right?
You are going to steal something, but don't worry about it. Almost everything the Guild of Archaeologists owns is stolen, and frankly, they should expect people to steal from them.
It's a fair point.
Do you steal from them?
Golly, no! I never steal from any building less than 1,000 years old, and with really exciting puzzles.
She's a lady with principles.
So, what do you do for a living?
I'm a tomb evacuator.
And what does that involve?
It's a lot of fun. It means breaking into ancient buildings within which no man or woman has walked for thousands of years, apart from whoever it is who leaves all those medical kits, of course.
And those lit torches.
And working my way through fiendish traps and puzzles, and eventually stealing some priceless treasure.
And do you sell the treasure?
Goodness, no! I'm far too well-bred for that.
Obviously.
I bring it here, and have to watch as they slam it into a vault that nobody will look in.
It was all worth it.
A vault?
Forget I said that. Suffice it to say, the Guild of Archaeologists has a priceless collection of artifacts, but no one gets to see them.
Isn't that a waste?
Well, nobody said archaeology was rewarding.
Why do you do it then?
For the excitement, silly. And the fame. Everyone has heard of Laredo Kronk.
I hadn't.
Well, most people have. I was on the front cover of Archaeologist's Monthly twice last year.
I don't read it.
Those long words can be so tiresome, can't they?
So, what does a tomb evacuator do?
Nothing special. I break into places where priceless antiquities have been locked away for centuries, overcome the elaborate and convoluted security systems, defeat my rivals, and make away with the treasure.
So you're like a Robin Hood, but you're not really helping anyone except yourself.
Typical day's work, really.
So, you must be pretty rich then.
Oh, I've got absolutely pots of money. Anyway, the whole thing with the tombs and so on is just a hobby. And of course, it's great for making friends.
What, among fiendish tomb-guarding monsters?
No, I kill all those. I meant people are always asking me things like, how do you get to the third ledge in the tomb of Tex-Mex cuisine? What's a walkthrough?
Tex-Mex cuisine.
Never heard of it.
People are always asking me for one. I hope it's nothing to do with sex.
My mind just boggled. Sorry. Broken into anywhere interesting, have you?
Like through a fourth wall?
Well, I knocked over the Grand Temple of Offler several times. Such sillies. Every time they get the Tear of Offler back, I take it. It's getting a bit boring recently. Then there's the Catacombs of Genua and the Temple of Anu Anu at Al-Khali. I don't know, it's all a little routine.
Al-Khali, huh?
I'd like to do something new for a change.
Ever thought about retiring?
I'd love to, but the public seem to want me.
Oh, they want you, all right.
You mentioned vaults.
I told you to forget I mentioned that.
I take it all the treasure that people find is kept in vaults under the guild.
I shouldn't discuss that with you since you're only a guest.
Worried I'm going to steal something?
Worried? No. I'm certain you're going to steal something.
Me too.
I just don't care.
Why not?
I'm very philosophical about this sort of thing. It's like I said, everything in the guild is stolen. It seems only fitting that someone else should get to steal it back. Assuming they can overcome the traps, of course.
Well, I do like overcoming complex puzzles and traps. But you mentioned some names, and we're gonna talk about everything.
I wasn't about to ask Laredo about herself.
You could just read the magazine.
I've heard that a bestial attacker is loose on the city.
Try and imagine how much I care.
Well, you should care. You kill all the monsters and baddies.
Do you know a troll by the name of Horst?
Jasper Horst. Yes, I know him. Horst and I go way back, and I don't mean that in a good way.
How do you know Horst?
You could say that he and I are rivals. We have this uncanny habit of turning up in the same place at the same time, looking for the same archaic treasure.
It's like he's following you.
You sound bitter.
Well, I always win, of course. But that doesn't mean I don't resent his interference.
Must keep your life interesting, though.
Perhaps. I could stand a little less excitement in my life, though.
What can you tell me about a golden sword?
Ha! You'll have to be more specific than that. Golden swords aren't that uncommon, you know. I must have evacuated about 30 in my career, and that's not including the golden daggers, golden lances, and golden kebab skewers.
I'm sorry.
The ancients seemed to think that gold was the best material to build everything out of. And I mean everything.
Yeah, that's not a great idea. If Minecraft has taught you anything, don't build an armor out of gold.
The ziggurats of Tizuma had golden cutlery, golden swimming pools, golden bed sheets, and golden chamber pots.
Really?
Well, not anymore because I stole it all. But for a while it was very impressive.
Have you heard of a gold-plated jewel with the words Unquam Paratus inscribed on it?
That's the jewel Two Conkers is looking for, isn't it?
Yes.
He seems to think it's here in Ankh-Morpork.
And you don't?
If there was a valuable antiquity protected by an intricate and ancient security system anywhere in Ankh-Morpork, I'm sure I would have already found it.
So it's not in something ancient, then. But it has to be ancient for you to get your panties in a twist.
What do you know about the counterweight killings?
Sorry, I'm not interested in politics.
What do you know about...
Sorry, I can't...
She is not interested in any murders, just treasure. And tomb evacuating.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
They're no one I've had the pleasure of meeting.
Do you know a dwarf named Al-Khali?
Oh yes.
Oh my.
One of Horst's cronies. Well, some of the time. We've sparred with each other a couple of times.
What do you make of him?
He's a treacherous rat-like man, and you do well to stay away from the likes of him.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I'll take your advice.
Do you know Ilsa and Two Conkers? I understand they're members of the guild.
Why, of course. I have a lot of respect for them. Of course. They do all that boring excavation. Still, someone has to do the boring stuff, I guess. Not everyone can lead an exciting, action-packed life like me.
You're truly living the life.
Do you know anything about the wine barrels the Milka was carrying?
Sorry, I can't help you.
I understand the Varberg crates were brought here.
Really? Whatever gave you that impression?
You've not heard of them?
If the Varberg crates were stored safely in the vaults beneath the guild, behind many intricate and cleverly designed traps and pitfalls, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
I get the impression that you really want me to try and break in.
What's the point in my sitting down and designing a security system if no one is going to try and overcome it?
Okay, challenge accepted.
Aren't you worried I might succeed?
No.
Haha, we will.
Do you know anything about the crate belonging to the von Uberwalds that was on the Milka?
Sorry, I can't help.
You can't help.
Does Azil mean anything to you?
The mad Ascari of the Great Neff. Ah, yes. I think I raided his tomb a couple of years ago. Didn't get much, frankly, but what I have is down in the vaults.
The vaults?
Damn.
Damn.
Anyone would think I was trying to encourage you to break into the vaults beneath the guild, where centuries of priceless treasures have accumulated.
Those people would be mad to say that.
It's all protected by a hideously complex and brutal security system, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Hey, you're pretty sharp for a guest. Yes, I designed it myself. You'll like the sawtoothed doors.
Fancy. But she said she raided a tomb. Isn't it called evacuating?
Can you help me with this?
It looks like some kind of lockpick, but a really specialist kind, like it was only intended for one lock.
It's a key. Haven't you seen a key before?
A key?
You use it to unlock doors.
So it is a type of lockpick.
Do you ever enter a building without breaking in?
Where would be the fun in that?
Never mind.
Okay. She never uses a key.
I wasn't about to...
Fair enough. Laredo, Kronk. It was fun chatting with you. I really want to inspect this book. It's very in your face about it. Fireplace. Scrape marks. Hey.
There were some curious scrape marks around the fireplace that caught my attention.
Honestly, you're like a little child. Leave it alone.
But I just want to get in the vault.
Keep your grubby little hands away from that. Don't touch that. Honestly, you're like a little...
Fine, I'll leave it alone for now. But I will have to distract you at one point.
Don't touch that.
You are no fun.
It was only a small bookcase, but it might have something interesting on its shelves.
She's not a hinged book.
I wasn't an expert, but I was pretty sure the hinged book was a switch of some kind.
Honestly, you're like a little child. Leave it alone.
Okay, do you want me to break into your vault or not? Because you're getting in the way. Or maybe this is part of the test.
Honestly, you're like...
Well, since you're going to be a spoil sport and not let me break into your vault, I guess I'll have to find a way to distract you. And I think I know where.
Ah, Mr. Luton. It is always a pleasure to see you. I try...
Yes, a pleasure. Absolutely. Oi! I just got kicked. Damn it.
Ah, Mr...
Let's talk about someone you might know. I think you know each other. This Laredo Kronk person.
A woman named Laredo Kronk is in town. It seems to me that you might know her.
Laredo is here in Ankh-Morpork? Really? I thought that we had dealt with her in the temples of Tezuman.
Apparently not.
She is full of surprises, that one. Would you do me a favor, sir, as one friend to another?
Perhaps. It depends on the favor.
But of course, your prudence continues to speak well of you. I'd like for you to arrange a meeting with Laredo for me.
It seems as if I'd be doing you a favor. It seems as if I should be getting something in return.
Very well. Arrange this meeting for me, and we can discuss the sword in detail. Do we have an agreement?
Works for me. I'll go give her the news. I can't guarantee she'll turn up, though.
Oh, she'll come.
She can't help it.
We have much to discuss.
Oh. Oh, I hope I'm not setting her up to be killed or anything. She is pretty cool. What is with this doggy?
I thought about petting. I'm back.
Apparently so.
I've got a message for you from Horst.
Horst is in Ankh-Morpork.
Yes, he is. Kind of across town.
Absolutely. He wants to meet with you to discuss certain matters arising.
Super.
I have to say that it's probably a trap.
Of course it's a trap. That's what makes it interesting. I'll see you later, Luton.
Take care, Laredo.
Best of luck.
You too.
Laredo made her way over to Horst's quarters and didn't look back. I had no idea what the two had to talk about, but I was sure it would lead to a new and exciting adventure, one even more complex and challenging than her last. For the time being at least, Laredo was out of the way.
And that's all I wanted. Now, this hinged book.
I heard a faint click, and the next thing I knew, the fireplace was revolving. I won't bore you with the details of the guild's security system. After all, if you've seen one intricate and fatal collection of pits and traps, you've pretty much seen them all. Suffice to say, it took a lot of trial and error, some scorched eyebrows, and more levers than I could count.
But the last one was the one that mattered.
One of the vaults grabbed my attention more than the others. Vault 51.
Vault 51.
Whereas most of the vaults were open, this one was sealed behind a large oak door with the words Nil Introitus written on it. I once knew a man who had that tattooed on his buttocks.
Okay, first question. Under what circumstance did you see this man's buttocks? And what does it mean?
This wasn't turning out to be one of my better days.
Ah, I was turned into a toad, but yeah, okay, so I can't go that way. Be interesting to play the game as a toad, though. Could probably talk to the dog at that point. Find out what happened to him. Alright. Panel.
There was a panel by the oak door with runes on it. I punched away at the runes randomly, but as far as I could tell, nothing happened. I punched away at the rune.
Right, so we need a code for this, and I have a pretty good idea where we can find it.
One of the vaults grabbed where I once knew a man who...
Nothing else in here, so we have to get in. And I know exactly where we can get the code because I remembered to use that fucking notebook mechanic that I always forget to use. That was at the Octarine Parrot. We go back to the murder scene. Oh, finally they took his body away.
They'd put a chalk outline where Mundy's body fell. What was it like, I wonder, to have only a white silhouette to mark your passing?
It was something.
I could have... Sooner or later someone else would do it, and then there would be no mark left of Mundy. I could have erased the outline, but there didn't seem any point. Sooner or later someone else would do it, and then there would be no mark left of Mundy. Someone, either the killer or Mundy, had written Azil on the wall in blood. Mundy's blood, presumably. I had no idea what it meant. If I had an iconograph, I could have taken a picture of the message, but I didn't have one. And even if I did, I didn't want to become too reliant on technology.
We take this, then we use it here.
Frankly, the message could mean anything.
Oh. Oh, I really wanted that to work. Come on.
Frankly, the message...
I'm not giving up. Oh, it's the other one. It's this one.
They say that the universe is full of particles called inspirations. One of them hit me at that moment because I suddenly realized something that should have been obvious. If Monday was hung upside down, and if Monday wrote the message, turning it around in my head, I could see that it read 3712V. It wasn't a meaningless word after all. It was a meaningless combination of letters and numbers instead. Somehow that seemed much, much worse.
Not really, because we have a panel where we can input a code. You didn't tell me how many digits though, but I'm pretty sure that's where it goes. Wow, that puzzle thing has been just standing there for ages. Where was that? Guild of Archaeologists. Oh, we're so close. What's behind Vault 51? Did I make a note of that code so I can use it on the panel? Not the inventory. Silly. Yes, you did make a note. Very good. Good detectiving. What does that security notice say first?
Up on the wall of Vault 51 was a sign reading, "Unseen securities, magical alarms, wards, and hexes." I guess a place like this needed the best security around.
Alright, now we can carry on with breaking in.
I didn't know what the runes meant, otherwise I could try punching in 3712V and see what happened.
Oh, you don't want to do it.
I didn't know what the runes meant, otherwise I could try punching in 3712V and see what happened.
So the runes. Okay. Why don't you show me a picture of the damn runes?
The only time I saw Monday, he was playing with this coin. A metallic flat disc with a square hole in the center. The coin had markings on one side that I couldn't read. It wasn't from any nation I'd ever heard of. I'd realized that Monday had been hung upside down before he I'd realized...
Well, back to the drawing board.